Okay, so we are now here rolling on another social marketing hour. And I got a very special guest here. These two people here with me are sidekicks of mine. These are people that are going to battle every single day with me for many, many, many years. This fellow over here is Mr. Ollie Rodriguez. He is the Chief Operations Officer at AGM Marketing. And on the right, I got my longtime partner. These two guys are two of my best friends also. And this is Ernesto Barrientos, who's the Chief Administrations Officer at AGM Marketing. All right?
Hey.
So today we're going to talk about, we're going to spend about 20 minutes and we're going to talk about some of the tools. People that are listening in to this workshop, this podcast, this video, they are trying to build their own team. And we have succeeded in this particular process. We're still building our team. And you guys have done a great job of like making people productive, making people have fun, creating a great organization. We do have a combination of remote and local staff, and we've done it quite well. And sometimes we take it for granted what we've done. We kind of build our systems along the way. So I wanted to just have a 20-minute chat about this particular subject, maybe talk some of the tools that we have incorporated and that we have succeeded using, and maybe talk about some of the ones that we have tried and have failed at. And just try to give value to some people that are trying to build their own team. How do they make them productive? How do they get them on the same page? All right?
Great.
Yeah.
Let's do
So,
it.
Ollie, you want to introduce yourself very quickly?
Yeah, Ollie, as Manuel said, I'm the Chief Operations Officer here. We have over 100 employees. And so my job is obviously operations and anywhere from establishing production lines and delivery lines to recruitment and personnel lines. So just a lot of like being able to recruit and establish and have the company running smoothly.
Cool. I did not mention that this is actually called the Social Marketing Hour. I think I said the workshop because we have so much going on, but we're doing a Social Marketing Hour episode. Ernesto, introduce yourself.
Okay, Ernesto, I'm the Chief Administrations Officer here at AGM. I've been working since I was young, and I have different businesses along my work journey. And every time I embark upon a new business, I always start hiring people, getting help, and growing it. I'm very lean to growing my team because that's the best way to grow, right? You need people to grow. So when we started here at AGM just 5 years ago, it was 3 of us, and now we're over 100. And it's been a great, fantastic journey. I've never had any other businesses as big as this one, and it's it has its challenges, but it's a lot of fun and a lot of activity, so it's great.
That's amazing. So I would say for all of you guys that are trying to create your own team, you need a core group of people that are in it for blood. They're going to keep on pushing in your vision and your goals. So those of you guys that are watching this video that you feel like you're number one, you need to find yourself number twos. Like these guys are number twos for me. And whatever I have a vision with, like no matter what, they help me execute it. And sometimes my vision is a little crazy and they still say, let's go, I'm going to go for it. So Ollie, would you speak to maybe being the number two of a crazy guy like me? Like what's your experience with that particular process?
Yeah, I think, you have in a movie, you have the star of the movie, and then you have like supporting actors and supporting roles. And it's like a role that people take on. So it's being aware, having enough self-awareness. It's like there's somebody that's going to make the rules. There's somebody that's going to be the visionary. And my role, that supporting role, is not to try to be that. It's not to try to have the vision or the to be the star of the show or anything like that. It's to support. So I think it's like just knowing what your role is. It will eliminate any conflicts. I might have my opinions about something, but and I'm actually in an environment where I can express those opinions, but I typically don't. I typically just do what the visionary is trying to accomplish, because it's that ability to give that person whatever their role is, like to do and execute that role. So I think it's just sometimes I think there's people try to be like there's too many cooks in the kitchen, as we like to say. It's like everybody wants to be the chef, but somebody's got to serve the food. So it's like knowing your role.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I would say that you do when I actually have a strong opinion of something, and you have a counter strong opinion to that particular point, you are comfortable enough that you can tell me why you're against it. And I respect you enough that I will listen to it. And many times I will be like, you're right, that you got it.
I think, I'm lucky that you are that way. Unfortunately, not a lot of people are like that. They have their bosses like my way or the highway. And it's like, there's a door if you don't like it. Luckily, I'm in an environment again where you allow that, and I think it's great because if a person is listening to this that's creating their own team, like, being able to get feedback or allow feedback is like, it's just a great thing for the other person, even if it's like at the end of the day nothing happens with that feedback. It's still like, you just never know. I've had feedback from my employees in which I was wrong. And so when they gave me that feedback, I'm like, I was smart enough to say, oh, like, yeah, you're right. Let's do that because that's going to save us money. Or my way was going to cost us a lot of money and time. So anyway, that's the reality.
Yeah, and something that I'll say that I believe it could be valuable to an audience that's paying attention to this particular podcast is when you as a leader are more often right than you're wrong, then people start trusting in you more, right? Like
confidence, yeah.
They, my vision gets respected more. Like if I have a vision and it ends up being a disaster and we lose a lot of money and we lose business or whatever, and it happens over and over again, you guys are going to protest along the way because my vision is turning out to be more wrong than it's turning out to be right. But because I have been fortunate to have a certain mind that gives me a good vision that follows through with products and results, then you guys trust me. When I say something, we have a great chemistry and you guys go. And then you also do your own thing, which is something that I encourage everybody. Like, I really, really, really encourage initiative. Like, what did I tell you the other day about, like, let's talk about real example, Ollie.
Yeah.
Yesterday, somebody was asking me, should I record this, Manuel? Tell the audience what I told you the other day.
You said the thing you hate the most is being asked, can I record this? Just grab the camera, show that initiative, and then if something's not appropriate for social media, we will delete it. But that way it just reduces all that time and just like waiting, and I need orders, and it's just like that. I do say that one of the things that I put in all the job applications and ads that we run is that a perk, believe it or not, it's a perk, is that we offer creative input. Like, you can exercise your creative input, which in a lot of companies, it's like, this is what we're going to do. Your opinion doesn't matter. So, it's one of the things that I think we're proud of as a group, that we allow people to like express themselves that way.
That's key. Now, having a group of people that feel that they are free to create.
Yeah.
I want to develop a lot of people that feel that their potential could be reached in this particular organization. This is the vehicle. Like, I am in a fortunate position that I happen to be the CEO of this vehicle, but I want a lot of people under me to feel this is their long-term solution for their own personal, professional, financial, whatever goals they have going on. So for me, that's important. I want to lift you guys up. I want to make a lot of stars along the way. I mean, Ernesto, you are a star on your own right. I mean, your content on social media, you do really good with it. You don't actually think about it too much. You just create on it.
If I think of something, I just create it. And sometimes it gets me in trouble. Hey, but you know what? It's I'm doing it from my heart, and I'm doing it because it's really, really organic to me, and I just do it because I like to communicate to the world and my friends and family what I'm doing. And every time I post something, whether I'm posting something here at work or about marketing or with my family or with my dog or working out, I post it with the point of view that this will help someone. It will help someone get motivated. It will help someone work harder, work out, whatever it is, eat healthier, whatever. So that's my vision when I post stuff. And on that subject about a team and growing a company, I feel that it's very important to get everyone on the same page. Okay, like in AGM, we have Manuel as the leader. He's very smart, great marketer, and there's a lot of companies out there with amazing, super smart CEOs, but you have to be able to communicate and to get everyone on the same page and get the culture really implemented across your company to be able to expand fast and get everyone, working on the same direction.
That's good stuff. So Ernesto has been working, I don't know if you realize this, Ernesto, we call him Neto. We've been working together pretty much every day of our lives for more than 11 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
2011, that's right.
It goes
For
by
more than
fast.
11 years, we've been doing things together. We've built e-commerce brands together. We've exited e-commerce brands. We started agencies together. We worked on the church together. We've been through thick and thin, all right?
True.
Like they say. So it's been quite a while. So you've been able to see, I guess, my journey from literally the ground up, right? So what has been your experience? Ollie talked a little bit about his process with me, right? And allowing to be himself the number two. How about you? What do you feel has been that process of like seeing me just like go crazy and build this world around us?
Yeah, definitely crazy vision, crazy goals. And at first, when you would talk about the goals, it almost seemed unreal because how big it is, right? Or what kind of an impact we want to create. But something that I have seen you is that things that you are asking others to do, you're also willing to do. You're not just directing people or giving people instruction just so they can do the work. So you don't do it. You do other things because you're too busy doing your own thing, but you're willing to do the things that you ask other people to do. And you teach others by example and just the push and not taking no for an answer, or no matter how many barriers we might hit, is not accepting it. We need a software that does this and this and this. Oh, okay, we research and it doesn't exist. Doesn't matter. We're going to keep pushing until we get what we want, period. And that culture gets across the organization and more and more people start acting like that.
100%. One thing that, real life example, 31st of August. What did I tell you just a little while ago? We're about to hit our highest ever revenue month. It is your responsibility to help us get there. What did I tell you?
Well, not hitting our highest ever is not an option. It is not an option. We have to do whatever it takes to make it happen.
And also I said, either you do it or I will do it myself.
Right.
I want to empower you because I know that you can do it, and I want you to celebrate this particular win yourself because it does make one bigger. And like we put ourselves in a position in which we can grow when we set ourselves on a path and we accomplish it. There's nothing like target attainment. In the world of business, in the world of marketing, in the world of personal goals, when you accomplish a goal, that is the one thing that gets you up one step more. Just target attainment, right? Like once we hit that target, you make it real for yourself and for the organization that you can hit that target. If you keep on putting targets in place and these targets are unreal and you never accomplish them, your group stops believing in you. That's why setting a target and accomplishing that target is extremely important, because if you don't, people stop believing in you. And when you say a target, they'll be like, oh, whatever, here goes Manuel with a crazy target again. I said to the entire staff in public, I said, we reach the target that we have, we're going to Topgolf, all right? And I said that. And it's a big deal, and it's a game, and it's something that it's a lot of fun. If I don't make it again, then people stop believing in me. That's just the way it is. That's why it's so important. So you got to push until you accomplish something. Doesn't matter what the odds are. You push on it. I know we have barriers and all these reasons why we can't do things and all these situations that are going to make things difficult, but we set ourselves to accomplish something and then we go after it. And it's incredible and it's magical how these things happen, that, you end up doing something and then you look back and you're like, wow, that was amazing. We actually accomplished it. That's pretty awesome. All right.
That's right.
So now that being said, just because we don't want to make this too long, I want to talk about people that are wanting to build a business themselves. They're wanting to build an organization, an agency. Let's rapid fire here and talk about certain things that are essential for managing a team of people, let's say remote. What would you say is the number one tool that allows you to make a remote team of people across the world productive for the organization? Let's give people some practical things to do.
Okay, so one thing is make sure that they're at it. they're trained on what they're doing, and spend as much time or as many courses as you need to give them so they're at it. Number two, when you give instructions or directions to them, try to do it in writing instead of verbally, but either way you do it, make sure that it's clearly stated what instructions, what they need to do. And then number three, communication, staying connected with them, asking them how are they doing, do they need help on anything, are they hitting any barriers, give me a report. So staying in communication, those three things have worked for me as far as working with remote staff.
And what software do you use to manage your remote staff?
Well, we use Time Doctor to track what they're working on, how much time they're spending on each project. And we track, we do Zoom. We stay connected through video calls on Zoom. Those are the two main tools that we use for project management and for staying connected.
Okay. Is it Zoom or is it Ring Central?
We use Ring Central for chats and one-on-one meetings, but also all day long we're connected in Zoom through, we have Zoom rooms. We have about 15 Zoom rooms, and the whole company is inside the main Zoom account under the different Zoom rooms.
So we have a building.
Rooms.
Was that?
Breakout
rooms. So we have a building that has 30 people in it, and it's a lot of great core staff are in this building. And then we have a lot of people overseas, which is 70 people. So we got 100 in total. Mm-hmm. But we tried to make it seem like everybody's in the same building. And the way that we do that is that we put them all on Zoom rooms in which everybody's in the same building and we can always see their face. And then we have whiteboards across the organization, computers in which the Zooms are on. For example, our chief marketing officer over here behind the studio has a big TV behind that you can always click on a button and find out the entire team that works under him. And you can see if they're there or not. So that way we try to stay on the same page. Is that how we do it the best?
Yep.
Right. So Ollie, highlights on what you're doing right now. So let's say somebody wants to bring some all-stars to their team. They want to hire some great staff members. I know you're working hard right now on recruitment because we're growing and we need more people and we're putting a lot of attention in that area. What are some things that you can share about how to recruit great, competent people?
Testing and is creating filters that will show you. It's like it's the first level of like, hey, I really want this job. So if somebody's willing to do multiple steps to get to an interview, that shows like, hey, they really want it. I think in our case, we're lucky to have such a beautiful building, so we want to show that off and leverage anything you can leverage that would make you want to make a person want to work with you or for your team. So for us, our building and our facilities are really nice and people have made those comments. So then I want to leverage anything that could possibly get anybody to attracted to our company. The other thing is have your questions very well tailored for your interviews. For example, something you touched about earlier, one of our questions is, what are your career goals? We want to make sure that people that are joining AGM, their career goals is not like, I want to be a movie star. Like, we want to make sure that what they're looking for, this could be a vehicle to get them to where they want to be. So asking those types of questions will get you the ideal candidates. But knowing that the whole recruitment thing is a whole process of filtering and finding good candidates is the key. And of course, I would say leverage anything you can to attract good talent.
Awesome. Good. And tell me very briefly, you both are involved, Ernesto and Ollie, on our daily muster meetings with staff. How do you get the group pumped about the day? How do you get them excited about what's happening? How do you get them to understand who we are and what we do and how we're impacting the lives of people? Because we're not just flipping burgers here at AGM Marketing. We're not just feeding people. We're making businesses more successful, which in turn makes the staff have security and stability, which in turn helps the families put food on their plates and so on. So what we do here goes beyond just a regular 9 to 5. How do you get everybody on the same page with what we do over here?
I think one of the key things is sharing the good news, which requires create. Like getting reviews, getting testimonials, finding good things, but then getting that and communicating it to the team. That's a very underutilized tool in most companies, is the feeding of the group with good news. You feed it, you inject it, because you're constantly dealing with the problems and the fires. That's the natural cycle, right? That's the natural day-to-day activity. So balancing that out with good news is how you're going to keep people motivated, because people are normally, they want to know, feel like they're doing something good, not something bad like fires and, you know, errors and mistakes. So you want to balance that out. So that's probably one of the key things we've been doing for a while now, is creating and figuring out how do we communicate good news across the organization, what results we're getting.
And like you say, sometimes it takes quite a bit of digging or talking to different people across the organization to get those good news. I say definitely bringing in the energy so people can pay attention and get interested in the morning meetings, morning musters. That's definitely an important factor. And also making sure that we make known everything good that is happening across the organization. New staff, new clients. When we hit the highest ever, we'll definitely announce it. Share the good news, because sometimes you might think, oh, this is a big deal. Everybody will find out because the word of mouth will go around throughout the organization. But it doesn't always happen like that. So make sure that you communicate all the good stuff.
Yeah, and I'll just end that particular area with a definition that I actually love about what a team is, which I learned from my favorite philosopher, which is L. Ron Hubbard. He says something, and I'm paraphrasing: a team is a group of people where everybody else knows what everybody else is doing at all times. That's basically what we're trying to do, right? So when you talk about revenue goals, when you talk about accomplishments, when you talk about products that you're getting, services that you're doing across the organization, spreading the word, whether you're like 7 people or 70 people or 700 people, everybody knowing what's happening in your organization will only make your organization stronger. When you look at the best football teams out there, the best sports teams, everybody knows. They're on the same page. You know, you look at some of these, like, you go back to one of the best basketball teams that I've seen in my life, San Antonio Spurs, with Mr. Fundamental, Timmy Duncan, and David Robinson, and these guys. These guys had incredible basketball. Like, they would move the ball on that court 57 times before they found an open man. And it would all happen in 20 seconds. It was incredible. I'm exaggerating 57 times. I'm giving you a number. It was incredible to watch how these guys, at all time, they knew where everybody else was at in that court. Yeah, and they knew how to move that ball. And that is a perfect... sports analogies are very applicable to the world of business. Yeah. Because when you see these guys that are championship teams and championship players, they have an ability. Like all these superstars, they know what everybody else is doing, where everybody else is at. Look at Tom Brady. Tom Brady understood that field inside and out. He knew where everybody was going to move. He knew where that guy on the left was going to make a cut to his right. He knew where he was going to fake it and keep going straight. He knows when this guy over here, the running back, is going to go behind him. It's like complete understanding of what the entire team is doing. And the more that you understand your entire team across the board, the better you're going to be able to do in the game of business. And it's 100% applicable.
Agree.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about this game for hours and hours. We should do this again. This is more like off the cuff. I think we're going to do this again, guys. This is a good point for us. Hopefully people got some value from this particular session. And I'm going to have you guys come back and we can keep on showing people this process of building what we built. We got a 2-time Inc. 5000 company that is conquering the world of marketing. We're helping a lot of powerhouses. We get to work with some of the smartest business content creators in the world. And we do it here better than anybody else. We're the best at it.
If anybody has any questions or any subjects that they want us to talk about, they can put it in the comments or send a message and we'll talk about it.
And Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe to the podcast. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe anywhere that you might be listening to this session right here. All right? I'll see you guys in the next episode.
Do it.
All right. If you're enjoying this content, please go ahead and subscribe. Help me comment below and let me know if you have any questions about marketing. And I'm on a mission to help as many of you as possible conquer the marketing world. So help me out. Subscribe, hit that button, hit that bell, get notified. We're going heavy with content in this 2021 year and beyond. Go ahead and subscribe right now.